According to this, we are live, but I need to double check and make sure we actually are, because
Yeah.
Yep, we are.
we are awesome. Let's see. Also, I'm just gonna quickly write this down so I don't forget. Well, someone died. There we go. All right. So, that being said, what is going on, my frosty friends? My name is Wintercast Tyson, and welcome back to Discord Dungeons and Dragons with the Solaires. Say hi, guys.
Hi.
I'm glad we got more of that in here.
You're not my dad.
You say you aren't, but you are.
I'll do what I want, Winter.
No, you say that. You say it.
Dad.
Guess what? It is D&D, so technically you could do whatever, but I have to facilitate it. All right. I'm glad we got that out. So that being said, about to say it is 10 o'clock. I only have you guys for a certain amount of time, so we're gonna go ahead and get right into it, if that's cool with everyone. So yeah. So with that being said, last time on D&D, the Solaires, after accomplishing what would seem impossible in not only rescuing all of the civilians from Starlum, but being able to take down another abyssal avatar, and also destroy the city of Starlum in the realm of Avernus, with only one casualty, as Henrik blew himself up. But that's the way he wanted to go. That being said, Blue was able to wish him back to life, and a very strong heart-to-heart moment had to be had, as Henrik ultimately makes the decision that he is not prepared or able to keep fighting the good fight, and is now in a position where he needs to try to help people in his own way. And thus the party was able to fight the bad fight, exactly. Meanwhile, the rest of the party was able to get the civilians that were outside of the city to safety, bringing them back to New Starlum. Be able to catch up on events that are going on, like they lost contact with the capital. Not good. But Garnan was able to converse with his tribe and be able to at least get the majority kind of together on a concept, rather than them just striking out on their own, and kind of giving them a game plan of what he wants to do and what he's going to do. Meanwhile, the rest of the party continued to help civilians and make sure order is maintained in the current situation that they are. They were able to get the portable dungeon back. Blue and Henrik returned to the rest of the party, if I can learn to talk. And ultimately, all the details were shared of everything that was going on and the news that had been said. Blue attempted to contact the people in the capital to no avail, even going so far as to cast Sending. To which the party then decided to use teleport, as they left Alosa behind, so that she may recover and from her wound, since she was nearly bled dry. But the party teleported to where the capital was to see an empty, vacant area, except for one stable, and also some holes in the ground. To which the party then proceeded to talk with this stable person, who is stable wouldn't be the proper word for it. Very in shock, very much.
The stable man was not stable.
No, the stable man was not stable. He was in shock and not handling things very well. To which the party bribed him to give them information. To which he looked at it and was like, "What am I supposed to do with it? Commerce is gone."
It wasn't bribe. It was just paying.
Yeah, you're paying him. It's not like you were bribing him, but at the same time, you were giving him money. You gave him platinum. which is probably the most money that guy
Yep.
has ever earned in his life. But he has to look at it and go like, where do I spend it? There's no city left. To which, using some context clues, using information they had, and then Garnan, using his gauntlets and in a very tactical and high way of looking at it in hindsight, being able to look back on the events that have happened in the last essentially couple of days to learn the truth that the capital city of Westray, Dame was able to return back to the capital, being followed very closely behind by a individual with individual tiefling with kind of like darker skin colors and horns, and but very charming, able to make his way into the city. To which they learned that Dame had been under the control of Valismir, used a relic that the party was familiar with, what appeared to be some sort of teleportation cube, to essentially send the city into Azagratz, the capital of the realm in which the Abyssal Prince Grazet controls. Upon learning this, the party then were talking amongst each other to decide what they should do. And the conversation did come up with, from Belwraith, that they could return back to Padstow, who would probably have the most information about Azagratz, at least in this neck of the woods, and potential resources. And so, I will, as you guys teleport away, dropping at least one more platinum in that stable man's hands, the party teleported, and you find yourselves currently in the basement of your guys' house in Padstow. What would you guys like to do?
Huh?
Yeah.
We're in a house.
Yep, you guys
It's
are.
our house.
You guys are your house in the middle of the street. Your house.
Yeah, we're house. Padstow.
Yep.
I gotta go talk to the fucking Raven Queen people.
All right. Say, Kazir, did you want to tag along with Blue, or did you want to keep up with Belwraith, or what would Kazir like to do?
Yeah, Kazir will go with Blue.
Okay. I say, I guess I'm gonna keep focus on you two since Herma's muted, Wanderer's muted, and Wild's muted.
Everyone's dead.
I'm here.
Okay. Was there what would Belwraith?
Everyone but him is dead.
I am in the vault. Whatever. That's fair. That is fair. I know. You're like Herma. I literally like you're good, bro. I just the portable dungeon.
I'm gonna be going to Church of Tyr.
Absolutely. So heading directly to Scales of War.
Yep.
All right. In that case, but I say between the two of you, who would like to go first, or would you like me to just roll for it?
I got a lot on my plate. I gotta sort it out. Let them go first.
Sounds good.
Blue has a plan.
Sounds like a plan.
I can go
So-
first.
So Blue and Kazir, you guys wanted to head towards where the Raven Queen is. Would Garnan follow Belwraith, or would Garnan just or would Garnan want to go to where the Church of the Raven Queen is?
Or would Garnan like to stay at home and make special love to his hand?
She has a name.
Oh, right. Righty and other righty.
Say how we meditate. Okay. Fair. With everything going on, it makes
Hell
sense.
yeah.
It makes sense. Maybe Garnan's just
Yeah.
looking for inner peace.
Very active meditation there you got.
It's just it's just the sound that those bricks from Mario make. Just the
Oh god.
Echoing through the city.
Oh god. Anyways, So we'll start off with Kazir and Blue. So
Oh,
you guys want to head towards the Church of the Raven Queen.
I want to move it.
Move it. You wanna move it. My gosh, I get to open up my Pats Down notes for the first time in a while. Let's see. Not too long. I mean, like, Battle State Bellwraith was here not too long ago, but at the same time.
You can wish list dino.
I say, here it is. So specifically, you wanted to head to the Feathered Church.
Yeah, that one.
Ooh, you can wish list Dino Blade?
You can wish list dino blade.
You can.
Ooh, I say
It's
You
coming.
can wish list.
it's coming.
Yeah, so am I.
Anyways, point being, you guys want to head to the Feathered House. Well,
Yes.
specifically the Feathered Church. But you point taken. So you guys make your way there. You do get stopped for like a moment by the guards, but immediately, like as soon as they see you, they are like, "Oh, it's the Solaris. Oh, hello, once more. What was your business here in this district?"
I'm heading to the feathered church.
Ah, I see. Are you just for visitation, or did you need to speak with the head of the church?
I- If the head is free, I will speak to them. If they are busy, I will just pray.
Well, Lady Eileen is available for a moment at least. She is currently getting some stuff in order. She will be heading up to Scales of War, within the next hour or two. To speak with the acting head cardinal for the moment being.
Understandable. If I catch her, I will more than likely wait with her than go to Scales of War instead.
Yep, absolutely.
Our cardinal is in the city at the moment.
Oh, Master Bellwraith has returned.
Yes.
That's good to hear. I'm sure Scales of War will be quite excited to see the Arc Cardinal return.
We have some stories that I gotta make songs out of. Right now, I need to get to the Feathered Church.
You watch as he kind of gives you a look. Does that mean there'll be another concert in the city?
More than likely. Morale has been quite low, and I have been meaning to play some music.
Would you like me to inform the guards and the civilians? I'm sure they would very much like would very much enjoy an uplifting performance by Blue of the Solaris.
That would be quite handy of you.
Absolutely, I
If
can.
you would go ahead and do that.
Absolutely, I could at least send word amongst my fellow guards, and we can spread the word.
Thank you. I know how fast working spread in cities like these.
But I say, Blue, roll an insight check.
Alright. Is that check? Ha! Blue's amazing at these.
Jesus Christ!
Hold on.
Sorry.
Well, Jesus Christ. Alright. Yeah, that. 22.
22. But I say this, like, you could tell that this guard is like obviously like you being very professional. He is very much fanboying, like internally.
You kind of sees this and just pulls out a copper wire, bringing it up to his mouth, and just whispers, "Would you like an autograph?"
I will say I am on, but I say I am on duty, and I do not wish to not be doing it to the best of my abilities. You watch as he pulls out a pad and a quill, but I would not say no if you would be willing to.
Of course. And Blue gives a autograph.
But as he takes it and he goes, by all means, this way, please. Allow me to open the gate.
Thank you.
And you, as he opens the gate, and you guys enter into the religious ward. You guys, like, once again, I mean, I wish I could say that, like, it were happier times. You guys like finish Starlam, and the fact that, you know, that is to be something to be celebrated, and it will probably spread very quickly that Starlam has been taken down. However, there's still the unfortunate scene of the amount of cots that are currently being filled in this ward, the fact that there are plenty of sick being treated, the fact that they're trying to, you know, prevent people from turning, and unfortunately, like, that's starting to get harder and harder. You know, they only have so much gold root,
Yeah.
and they gotta keep, like, if fortunately they can keep growing it. The pav is a, but I say that it is a massive place, and they have plenty. But the problem is like, as the longer this goes, the harder it's going to be to maintain.
Which is understandable.
I say, but you see plenty of people are at work, like, creating, like, a Estus soup levels amount of, like, medicine to be able to keep people from turning. Eventually, you find yourself once again in the chamber, but I say in front of the church of the Matron of Feathers, the Raven Queen. It is very, you recognize the people in front of it being like the ones wearing the plague doctor masks, and as you approach, you see one of them look and go, "Hello, can I help you?"
Blue kind of looks at them and moves, putting on his own Plague Doctor mask. If
Ah,
Eileen is in, I would like to speak with them.
a fellow brother of the church. Absolutely. Lady Eileen is still here. She was just getting her affairs in order, getting ready for heading up to Scales of Ore. And is this one a fellow devout, or is he simply traveling with you?
He is simply traveling with me.
Because you're just like Will's his fingers. Hello.
Actually, Kazir seems kind of lost in thought,
Ooh,
but still like half in,
absolutely.
paying enough attention to follow Blue around, but
Oh,
like
I-
seeming lost in thought, if that makes sense.
No, it makes perfect sense. I can only imagine why he would be lost in thought.
Yeah, completely.
But
There's a real good reason for being lost in thought.
oh, I can't imagine why.
Can I try and trip him?
That
Sure. I mean, if Witcher says yeah, I guess.
are you trying to incite him?
No, I'm trying to trip him.
Oh, absolutely. Better say, go ahead and Kazir, roll an acrobatics with disadvantage because you're not paying attention.
Okay.
But I say Blue, roll an acrobatics or athletics of your choice.
Okay.
Wow, what's the top? Oh no, wait, no, that's not the roll you made yet. Sorry, brain.
I had.
Damn, bro.
Yeah, that's a 30. Yeah. Uh Blue, you can see that he's lost in thought, and as like Kazir goes to take a step, you literally hook your foot underneath his, and you literally force him back to fall forward.
He was just walking, just kind of whistling, heading to Eileen. Then, no,
Oh, Kazir was not whistling. He
Blue was whistling.
No, Blue was
Oh.
whistling. Like the classic, like,
yeah, I get you. As soon as I'm connecting now.
He was whistling, and then just suddenly sweep.
which Kazir, like, it doesn't hurt you, like, you're not taking any damage, but you definitely
nope.
you face plant to the ground.
What happened? Kazir kind of pulls himself up. Blue's in passive perception. What is it? Just double
Blue's
checking.
past perception 24.
Yeah, that's definitely high enough. Blue would definitely notice that Kazir has his wife's sending stone in his hand, like he was rubbing it.
Alright, she
Clearly-
was in town.
Yeah, she was there when. Well, presumably, assumably.
That was in character.
Yeah. Yeah, she was.
All right. We have a way to get to them. Even though it's an annoying way, we have a way.
I know. And we must do what we need to first before we can go through there.
Mm-hmm. Don't worry. It'll be all right. Trust me.
I have faith. That cough was not in character.
That was
Yes.
the clouds part. That wasn't in character. Close clouds.
Yes. Faith. He kind of looks at your arm that has the moss growing over it.
Wasn't the moth growing like almost all over him since he
Yeah,
became
when you became the champion, it
Yeah.
definitely go. But there, like Blue would be very aware, like of the moss that probably is still very prominent on your arm.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay, that makes sense.
That's
More on the
the
arm than
place it
anywhere.
first started.
Yeah, fair enough. I get you now.
But please, right this way. I can. Did you need assistance up? As he kind of extends out a hand to Kazir.
No, it's fine. He kind of almost jumps up, kind of
Kips up.
doing an epicness.
Yeah, just like the Shawn Michaels
I'm
kip
not-
up.
Yeah, exactly.
Let us say, just literally like roll slightly to your arms and like flip up to your feet.
Yeah.
How to say?
Sound-
Yeah, something like
I'm
that.
trying to find a gif of jump kicking up.
But I'll say, that being said, you guys are escorted into the Confederate Church, which, Blue, you are very familiar with this location. You've been in here several times. But I say it is dark, but there's a level of beauty to this to the darkness, as it is very much like you see that there is a lot of symbolism to death, and the fact that the Raven Queen is not a good god, but she's not an evil god. She is a neutral god. She is a necessity. You see like stained glass windows dedicated to like the depiction of the Matron of Feathers, and there is actually a prominent one of Carrion, the archangel to the Matron of Feathers. Hold on one second.
As they're walking, he kind of just looks up at the one with Carrion on it and stops for a second.
Everything all right?
Yeah, just been a lot more close to death recently than most.
Ah, I see. And so you have met Carrion, say the Archangel
A
of
couple
Death.
times. Couple times.
He is supposed, at least according to most, he is the one entity of the Raven Queen, or for the most part of most gods that mortals will meet. Yeah. He is the Grim Reaper. But that doesn't mean it's a bad
Sorry.
thing.
No. That's gonna be scary, and at least you have someone to help you on your way to your respective afterlife or the cycle. Can you imagine having to go there alone?
One should never travel these roads alone.
Exactly. As we're walking, is there any place to offer stuff?
Yes, there are offering bowls, and there are there is altars like dedicated to the Matron of Feathers and to her archangels.
As Blue is walking past the Carrion one and the Carrion bowl, Blue pulls out a coin purse and then places it on the bowl as they walk by.
Absolutely. How much are you dropping?
A while ago, when Bull died, Blue made a promise to the Raven Queen with a large ship, dropping 1,000 platinum.
Ooh, Jesus.
Damn! Didn't realize Blue was that well off.
Ver-
Carrying that much on him?
Gotta say,
Oh, he cares a good bit.
gotta say, as you donate, you see a little sigil that says "The Gift of Charity" as you move forward.
Alright.
Gotta say, a little bit of Elder
That's-
Scrolls humor.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Every time you donate
God.
to the church or to anybody poor, you get the gift of charity. Or like
Fair
in,
enough.
Just a good gift.
yeah, it's just a good gift. But I say, no, but I say as you donate, like that is a hefty sum. That's fucking 10,
Yes, but-
it's fucking 10,000 gold.
Yeah. But they helped bring Knuckles' soul back
That is true.
and actually form his soul into a full being.
Wow, that would be so good if it wasn't for the fact that I run Milestone. Oh, that's funny.
Yep.
Ignore that part. That being said, Blue, you do feel like kind of like a shift in the wind. Like just like the air around you just slightly gets a little bit more clearer. To most, they probably wouldn't notice. But to you. And I would say to Kazir as well. You would notice the air is a bit lighter.
Thank you. And he keeps moving along.
Alright. As you guys proceed forward, you guys enter what seems to be like kind of like an offering room, like a place where a place of worship, where the largest altar is. Not quite like the actual chamber where like her sermons would be held, but like the actual, but it's more of like a private prayer room.
Oh, it makes sense.
And you see Lady Eileen wearing her full getup. As you see her wearing her plague doctor's mask, and you see her like black draped hoods and like almost like a feathered cloak on her back. She turns and pulls out the blades of mercy. Who are you? No, I'm just kidding. She looks at you and she goes, "Ah, I see that I have company," and looks over at you, Blue. "And what brings the honor of having you return to me?"
First off, I just wanted to speak and show. And Blue is going to kind of hold out one of his arms, and up it goes a shadow as he summons the that he got from the horse, the death grave.
Yeah. As you do so, she looks at it and she goes, "My, I can't tell you the last time that I've seen two artifacts of a god in the same place. Aren't you a special one? But I see, just by your body, you've been through quite a bit to attain such an item."
Yes. I have faced both death and undeath a number of times.
I'm gonna say, Kazir,
What's up?
I need you to roll me a deception check.
Oh. All right, hold on one moment.
Oh, it's all good.
Good thing I'm into that.
Natural 20.
Natural 20.
You watch as this woman, like, kind of looks you up and down. And she kind of just gives you a look of, like, a peculiar fur color for a tabaxi. It's... Are you from Azaria, or possibly from Uskar?
Yes, that is correct. I am from Uskar.
Fair enough. This peculiar fur color did not wish to be rude.
No, it's completely understandable. If the shoe was the other way, I would be curious as well.
Fair. But she looks at the the shield. It's in the form of a shield right now.
Yes.
She kind of like
He normally has it as a buckler.
she kind of moves her fingers around like the edges. One who walks on the lines of death often may find themselves in a place that they didn't wish to be. This artifact was designed to help protect the champion of the Raven Queen, no matter the circumstance.
Yes. I found it in a Yanti forest in the Exeter Desert.
Hmm.
It was going to be offered to another god.
Interesting. Well, there's nothing that there would do no follower of the Quetzalcoatl in this with this artifact.
When I gained both artifacts, I gained the ability to do something.
Oh,
Which you like to see.
by all means.
Blue is going to step back and kind of pull out his loot. He is going to activate the Raven's form.
Oh, so you're going full champion's performance essentially.
Yes.
Absolutely. So it has been a while.
Figurative people.
It has been a while. Would you like to describe to everybody once again what Blue's feathered form looks like?
Alright. Normally Blue's in, a robe, either his cult mask or the beak mask. This takes it to what is essentially an extreme. The robe changes into that of a pair of wings, full raven wings, and the pro mask seemingly morphs to his face, becoming even closer to that of a raven. There seems to be two cloaks on him, the raven feathers and a kind of spectral feathers going over it.
Whoa.
You see Lady Eileen
Blue gives,
kind of adjusts herself as she's watching this.
once it is done, Blue gives Eileen a bow.
And she will match your bow. By all means, you have no reason to have to bow to me. If anything, the roles would be reversed, being the champion of the Raven Queen.
That may be true for some. But even though I am a champion, what is her title?
Technically, she would be being the head of a church. She would be essentially the equivalent of a head priestess, but you would know in the Church of the Raven Queen, it's very much like a noble title. She is the head. She would have the title of lady, so she would be Lady Eileen.
Hello, my lady.
It is good to be humble. Just do not forget that you had to go through quite a bit to earn this position. One does not become a spokesperson to the god of death. One truly must understand death inside and out to earn such a title. And you watch as she kind of gives you, a look, but doesn't seem like, it's hard to like judge facial expressions considering the fact she's wearing her mask. But she looks at you and goes, "It is good to see that one that represents our faith is one that I would have the pleasure to be able to meet in person, rather than, say, the champion of the god of battle, who would probably maybe hold themselves to too high of an esteem. Or the previous Archdinal, who wouldn't have bothered to come speak to us at all."
That's gonna be scary. Death should be something everyone can face with wolves, even as they go into the cold embrace of reincarnation.
Indeed. The Raven Queen is not one person you should fear. What happens after her, that's something to be afraid of. She is simply a force.
Yes. I just hope I can make the Force a little less worrying.
I just imagine like Kazir is just there like just
Oh, yeah. Sorry.
it's very much like walking into the room and there's just like symbols of death and it's like ah.
Yeah, something like that.
Yeah, like I imagine like Kazir is probably still very much lost in thought, but at the same time it's just like as the speak of death and all that stuff, it's like yes.
Yeah, not the best topic, but I understand it must be talked about now. Kind of an attitude.
But as a Blue and Eileen just talking about how death should be accepted and that like, no one should truly fear death, and then all you hear in the background is like, "Oh God, they're killing us! Oh God, everyone's dead!" But you see Eileen kind of compose herself. "I am going to be making my way to Scales of Ore. Was there anything in particular you wish to speak with me about before I make my way?"
Oh, but would you mind if I accompanied you? I have my own business at Scales of Ore.
Both of you?
I'm just tagging along.
Now then, you watch as she kind of grabs looks like a bag or a case, and it starts to walk and goes, "It's been a long time since I've had two young men escort me somewhere."
Kazir kind of smiles and chuckles.
Shall we make
Blue also, of course. Blue kind of holds the hand out. Would you like me to carry that for you, my lady?
She looks at you and goes, "If anyone else would have offered, I would have said no." And she hands you the bag. "But you walk with death.
All right.
And he's a trustworthy companion."
Others.
And unless you guys wanted to talk to her about anything, you guys escort her to Scales of Ore.
Yep.
All right. In the meantime, Belwraith,
Oh no.
I would say you're making your way to Scales of Ore.
Yeah.
As you make your way, like at first maybe like a guard will come up to you and go like, "Hey, who are you?" And then the moment they see you, like, "Oh, Cardinal, it is a pleasure to see you back in the city. Were you heading to Scales of Ore?
I was.
Uh, would you like an escort, or you would? I apologize.
I know my way. Thank you.
Of course, of course. And you can, as you kind of make your way to the central gates and everything, like it is very much a repeat of like, oh, our cardinal, yes, and it's
Holy shit, you're alive!
oh my god,
What?
holy shit!
I mean, last they heard, yeah.
The only, I mean,
It was a solid 50-50 last heard.
literally,
Yeah.
the last message you told Vlad before letting him know that everything was safe, you had him tell everybody to pray to their gods for divine intervention.
The entire city praying to their gods.
Literally,
Yeah.
literally, just anybody was walking up to the city of Padstow at that time, all you would hear is a collective, oh.
Yeah, boy.
So,
Hey, yeah, everything's going wrong, and also pray to God, please.
rub-a-dub-dub, thanks for the grub, yay God.
They got
You watch as you get close to Scales of War, you do see you do see one of the you see Holy Knight Elmaris kind of look at you and go, Cardinal Belwraith, it is a pleasure to see you again.
Amaris, how are you?
I am well. We are busier than ever, but we're keeping Scales of War tip top, and we are about ready to be speaking with the heads of multiple churches in the next hour or two, if you are available.
I should be.
That's good. That's good. Your brother will also be attending, as he has chosen to become the advocate for the Church of Pelor.
Wonderful news, thank you.
Of course, of course. Did you need to speak with Vlad right away, or would you?
I assume he's in his study.
That would be correct. He is currently in the Arcardinal's chambers for currently going over and researching.
Thank you.
Of course. And if there's anything you need, by all means, I am simply in the training grounds we're currently working with some new potential Holy Knights.
I will hopefully meet them later today.
That is the hope. And you watch as he gives you a deep bow, and then he moves on towards where the training grounds are for the Cardinals and for the Holy Knights.
Alright, cool.
Again, I mean, we could go over this time and time again of like many people just kind of bowing and acknowledging, like, oh, our Cardinal, yes, of course, good to see you. By the time you get to the Arcardinal's chambers, you do see that the door is shut. Are you just pulling it open, or?
I will knock.
Of course. As you knock, you hear a, come in.
And I will enter.
Uh,
Vlad, how are you?
You see Vlad in he's not fully armored at the current moment, obviously, because he's in an office. He doesn't necessarily need to be fully armored, but he has his chest plate on, but he has like the pauldrons and everything taken off, so he can actually like move his arms and everything.
Right.
You watch as he stands up and he goes, Cardinal Belwraith, my friend, how are you?
It's... that is a very complicated question.
I can imagine, considering the last message you sent me.
Anyways. There is business to be done.
Naturally. Yet anything I can be of assistance of.
Truly, I thought I would have come up with my questions by the time I got here. Unfortunately, there's only one on my mind, I say as I ensure that the door is closed.
Mm-hmm.
How is Mary?
She is well. I have been making her take it a bit easier, but of course, naturally, it is quite hard for. It's hard for Dishana to be under control, and Mary has left towards where the remainder is, but she's been keeping in
Did I
contact.
say Mary?
You said Mary, yes, but I'm
did.
just.
God damn
It's
it!
I knew who you meant. That's why I'm playing off of it.
Too many names. Too many names.
You have been all over the country, Belraith.
It never stops.
I imagine it doesn't, but either way, she is fine. Dethana is one that is hard to convince, but I've been pushing her work in other directions, if you understand what I'm saying. We have been needing to shift focus on educating the next cardinals, especially since we've had to prepare to replace a number.
Speaking of, have we any lead on our two traitors?
Unfortunately not. The last we've heard, they've actually crossed over to a new border. They are currently in the country of Idrishankala.
As much as it pains me to say, I think we should abandon the search. There are more pressing matters.
How so?
How not?
From the last message you sent me, the city of Starlam had been neutralized.
Fallen into Avernus.
You see kind of a brief smile on his face. Well, if you were going to drop it anywhere.
Truly.
Maybe that'll put a bit of pause between those two realms.
Unlikely.
Fair. You weren't there, you don't know what happened. But something seems to be on your mind. Care to explain?
I would prefer to speak to you as a friend in that matter, rather than a comrade.
Of course. He walks over to the side, takes off the chest plate and puts it on like one of your guys, or like one of the, let us say for the Arc Cardinal, because of the fact that, you know, you are one that would be entering into battle, there would be like mannequins and stuff to like set armor onto. You watch as he watches he takes off his chest plate and he puts it onto the thing, and he like quickly removes the greaves as he kind of walks up, like in actual like just traditional, like not like super fancy, but like traditional like Scales of War like clothing, and goes, Belraith, what is going on?
I am doubting my own ability to lead.
How so?
I am too many firsts. I am the first tiefling cardinal. I'm the first. Yeah, I am the first cardinal with an intimate relationship. I am the first cardinal with a child out of wedlock at that.
You see him just nodding, like, yes, correct, I see.
With this many firsts, it's bordering corruption.
There is a level of concern, naturally. But we are in a changing period. Don't forget, you are also the first cardinal to truly advocate for multiple religions to have a say in Scales of War. You were the first Arch-Cardinal to be in several centuries to be on the forefront in conflict and actually protecting the cause. You are the first Cardinal in our history to actually save our people from annihilation. You're also the first Cardinal to prevent the corruption of Tyr.
I suppose this is true, but for every 10 good deeds you do, it is tainted by every single poor deed.
You're not wrong. It is one that is difficult to convince others to focus on all the good when there is bad. But let's not forget, I was able to join Scales of War. And if an orc could come into this place and make a difference, it speaks volumes of what Tyr believes is proper and orderly. You have been through a lot, Belwraith. It is okay to dwell on the bad. But just remember that for every bad thing that you've done, there have been over 10 good things you have done. And how many lives have you saved because of your actions and the things that you have done? Because quite frankly, I can only speak for myself here, but I would be dead if you wouldn't have intervened.
Help me with my armor.
Indeed. You watch as he, like, very deftly, but very, like, firmly is able to undo the latches, be able to make sure all the straps are undone, but not, like, everything's still, like, pristine. To the best of his abilities, naturally. You've been in conflict.
Yeah, his armor has taken a beating. It definitely needs cleaned. It
Would you like
does not smell good.
Would you like me to speak with the blacksmith of Scales of War to make sure that your armor is taken care of?
It would be appreciated.
Of course. I'm about to say several of ours needed updates anyways, all things considered. Some other members of our order have returned to Scales of War as well.
And who would that be?
We have some new potential recruits who were able to successfully help us and recollect some of the artifacts that were stolen. I say that would be. I will DM you those names. Excuse me. As he would show you like some papers with their names and
A
information.
ledger of some kind.
Yeah, like a documentation essentially. I say I just gotta pull up my notes.
Yeah, take your time.
Do. First name. I'll say next one. I'm typing this in, so whenever I click enter, it just sends. Sorry.
Yeah. No worries.
I'll say these three. The three of them were able to successfully reclaim a total of 6 artifacts.
Only these three?
Only these three. Then they went alone.
They're young.
Indeed. They have displayed quite a good. What would you say? Motivation and attitude.
I am impressed.
The only thing that you would need to know is that only one of them follows Tyr. Mr. Jacobs follows Tyr.
That is neither here nor there.
Indeed. That's what I thought you would say. Which is why I had filed them under the paperwork to be under your approval, if you so wish to give it to them.
It is likely, though I do wish to meet them first.
I thought you would say so as well, which is why they will be attending the meal for tonight.
I'll meet them sooner than that.
Fair enough. They are currently in the training grounds if you wish to see them sooner.
Do you know where Dathana is?
She is currently reorganizing in the personal library of the Cardinals. It has needed rework for a long time.
It has been truly well overdue.
And with everything going on, new information has needed to be added. Which is why, even with her situation, I pushed for a cardinal to take care of this.
Do you have anything else you need to tell me?
Yes, there are 3 other bits of business I wish to tell you of. 1. Things are going well with rebuilding and reconstructing. We have been able to get the majority of all damaged buildings taken care of, and our brothers and sisters in the various cathedrals in our city and outside of our city. We have been able to make sure that all of the buildings are now structurally sound, and places of worship are already up and running again.
I had noticed that. Excellent work.
Thank you. The second thing that I wish to speak of is that your approval amongst the other religions has been grown exponentially and has given us better connections in word and the mouths of those who follow other gods. Scales of War being open to other religions is incredibly popular. There are still some who are holding to the old faiths, but is a change that I believe, and the majority of the Holy Knights and Cardinals agree, is a necessary change.
Do you know who is arguing this? I
Yes,
would like to hear them out.
there are a couple of the Cardinals. Hold on one moment. I need to pull up his name because there was one in particular who has been very vocal. Let me pull up our. I know it's in our pins. Here we go. Let's see here. Where is he? I know he's on this list. Where are you? Sorry, I'm taking a second. I have to. There's a lot of characters tied to Scales of War, so it's always hard to keep everything in order.
Yeah, I gave up on remembering their names a long time ago.
That's fair. I mean, it's a lot of people. Like, that's the thing.
I keep track. I remember like the people I've interacted with directly, and that's about it. I still stand Vlad.
No, that's because Vlad's dope.
Vlad's the best.
Like, Vlad is awesome.
Anyone who has a problem with Vlad has a problem with me.
Fair. Let's see. No, not Zekrom. Zekrom's cool. No, not Zekrom. Oh, what the fuck? No, not him. In fact, that's the one I was thinking of. No. I was about to say. What I was talking about was who I was looking at when I'm like, no, he's cool. Was Cardinal Presley. He's dope. I say it was Zekrom, who was the one who's been a bit,
Oh, bitch.
yeah, a little bit of a bitch about the whole situation that you guys are working with other faiths.
He's dead.
Dead. Just pull out little did you know that all of a sudden you pull out Enigma and you just fucking blow this guy away.
Good argument. However, Glock 19.
It just pulls out a fucking Glock, like, wrong opinion.
It's not my fault your opinions are wrong.
It would be Cardinal Zekrom, but in his defense, he is simply just speaking on the tenets of Tyr. It is. Sorry, I read Irma's comment. In his defense, he is mainly speaking on the tenets of Tyr. Working in tandem with, say, the god of luck and the god of mercantile. There can be some skew when it comes to order. He's not wrong to question, but at the same time,
It's not the point.
exactly. Order is a good thing, and we want to keep order in the best we can. However, especially with changing times, we need to show that we stand united, that we can actually help the future of Atharia and help further the faith. And the best way to do that is to show that no religion should be shunned or pushed away if they are willing and wanting to be helpful to those around them.
Well, I will make sure these points are brought up to him, but I don't wish for him to feel unheard.
Of course, and by all means, his opinions are not unwarranted. There is a level of interest to be had about looking at the old tenants and making sure they're still honored. But we are in evolving times, and that is something we must accept.
Any final notes?
Yes, the two. One, Dathana scares me. She has attempted to kill me multiple times since you've been gone.
She is terrifying.
Yes, and very much so. And also, it is good to see you, my friend. As you see him pull from the back of some of the desk, he pulls up it doesn't look like wine, but it just kind of looks like fancier looking water, as he like pours you a glass. Please, even though I know you are busy, you have things you must do and attend to. But please, give me one moment to at least cheer you on your success.
I'll raise a glass.
And he will tap yours. To your life and your future, our cardinal.
May it be long lasting for both of us.
Indeed. And he will drink it, and it's nice. It's not liquor per se. It's literally just like this world's version of like sparkling water, essentially.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking. It's bottled water.
Yeah, it's bottled. Ooh. But it is nice water. That's the thing. Like it is actually very pleasant.
I'd best be off.
Indeed. Be sure to give my best to those in the training grounds. I will make sure that your armor is tended to immediately. I imagine that your business isn't done Is there any research that you wish to have taken care of while you're here?
Oh, probably. Out of game, yeah, probably.
I mean, that was part of the reason why you wanted to come to Padstow.
Yeah.
I mean, were you wanting to like speak to people about like Ozagratz, or wanting to like read books
Yeah,
about it?
That's exactly. My mind went to like the star plague.
Oh,
can't-
yeah, about to say. Well, I mean, no, you were correct. The Star Plague is a matter of interest, and that is currently affecting Romhicht.
Yeah, that's elsewhere. That's someone else's problem
Yeah,
for now.
that's a campaign down the road problem.
Yeah.
The-
How could I forget? We have become aware of what has happened to the capital.
What has happened?
There truly is no way to say this other than bluntly. It has been transported to Ozagratz.
You watch as he like kind of puts the glass down, and it goes fairly quiet in here, so you actually hear like the clink as it like touches the desk. And you see him kind of like rub his hand over his like mustache and his chin. That is not good.
No.
Do you have a means to get into Ozagratz?
I believe so. Maybe. But it is dangerous. It's a path we've taken before, and it is a path that is not wanted to take again.
Would you like me to compile some books that might be able to assist you in information about Ozagratz?
If you have time.
I do. The majority of my duties for today were to mainly prepare for the meeting that we're having with the other religious leaders. Preparing for the meal tonight, in which to introduce new cardinals and holy knights and potentially raise them to status, depending on approval, of course. And then there was just a matter of making sure that your wife doesn't kill me. Constant threat in my day. I'm looking over my shoulder constantly.
I wish you luck. Anyways, much to be done for both of us now.
Indeed. About to say, I will do this. You be off. Do as you see fit, Cardinal. I will take care of things while you are away.
And I will be off. I have had Spotlight for some time. Is there anything someone else would like to do?
That's a good thing. A good question. About to say, well, I imagine Garnet is still in meditation and currently collecting himself. He is finding peace with oneself.
He's AFK and taking care of a child.
Exactly. That's kind of the point. About to say, and Henrik is currently busy making a new hand for himself.
Henrik is dead.
He's not dead. He's just making a new hand for himself.
Henrik is effectively dead.
But I would say this, unless anybody has any like pressing matters of things they want to do right this second, the religious leaders of the
Blue was walking with one of the religious leaders,
Yes.
though.
No. I was just gonna say that like the religious leaders are making their way to the meeting. So if there was, unless anybody,
there is still things I want to do. It's just like I want to make sure everyone's
Go ahead and do 'em.
covered. Yeah.
Yeah, I'm doing something to occupy myself right now.
Okay. I just don't want to. I don't want to hold anyone else's plans up. That's all.
and that makes perfect.
No, you good.
Yeah, it makes perfect sense. It's just we're in a circumstance where Herma's character is effectively dead. Garnet is currently busy. Walf is currently busy at the moment, and as Kazir and Blue are currently making their way to Scales of War.
Right. Which is closer, the Cardinal Library or the training grounds?
It would be the closest would be the library, because it is
I will
simply
go there then.
yeah, it's simply down the stairs and then to the right, to the left, or going down the stairs to the right if you were going up the stairs. Because it was near that library that you cast. It was near that library that you cast. What am I blanking? The spell that takes 10 minutes to cast, Forbiddens.
Yep.
That's where you guys were casting Forbiddens. Like you were near the library.
I can't help but imagine there's still like remnants of a symbol there.
This here is where our cardinal had cast a spell that royally fucked the demons that were in our city.
It's kind of like that. It like scorch marks in the ground almost.
Scorched
That
earth. Scorched
have
earth.
just been like the least of the city's worries to clean up.
Yeah. Well, I mean, to be fair, I mean it's also a monument to the things that have happened in the city.
Yeah.
More hidden.
That's up to you if that's true or not, but
I think there would be like there wouldn't be anything right there. It would, because like it's just a place in Scales of War.
yeah.
But you would know that I would say that like they would have like sections of Scales of War like have been, there are like spots that essentially are being highlighted as like this is where this demon was taken care of, and definitely the grand meeting chamber of Scales of War definitely has a new plaque like in it where you defeated the wish demon.
Yeah. Anyways, to the library.
To the library.
To the library.
As you go to the library, you do see some familiar faces of like mainly just the staff of Scales of War. You know that there is the actual cardinals and the holy knights. There are like people who are of the faith that help like take care and maintain it, because obviously everyone in the faith can't take care of everything. How to say, but you know that younger members of the church are the ones who are like more responsible for helping clean and maintain it. You know, you've been there. That was very much a lot of the beginning of your learning. As you do see a couple of like young people being trained into young cardinal positions. If I remember correctly, into acolyte positions. I believe that's their proper term.
Yeah, acolyte.
Yeah, they are currently young acolytes being trained in, but they see you, and you do see like a matter of like, our Cardinal Belwraith. It's a pleasure to make your acquaintance.
Greetings and welcome to the Scale of War.
Thank you. Is there anything we can help you with in the library, or are you simply here to speak with the person currently running it?
Only time alone, if you don't mind.
Oh, of course. We'll make our way. Will you please let Cardinal Dathana know that you asked us to step away?
Certainly.
Thank you. And they watches like they kind of go, and they're just like, can you believe it? It was the Archon now. I know he hasn't been here in ages.
And I will look for Dathana.
Absolutely. As you go in, you hear the sounds of like books being moved around. You hear the sounds of like papers being shuffled, and you just kind of hear like you just hear someone like speaking under their breath.
I'm rolling stealth.
Go ahead and roll a stealth check. You're not wearing your armor, so no disadvantage.
This is true. Would I have advantage because she's distracted?
You know what? For the first time in this campaign, Wanderer, I'm giving you advantage on stealth.
Shit. Holy shit.
It'll
never happen again.
No, it won't, because you'll put your heavy armor back on.
2 1s.
Oh, mate.
Yeah, no chance. Oh man. I mean, honestly, you're so used to wearing heavy armor that you're like, I'm gonna sneak.
I don't even really hardly even try.
No.
Accurate, tiny.
Your fucking shield arm just
No, this is a real issue. I am 21 years old. When I go up the stairs, my knee creaks audibly enough for someone at the bottom of the staircase to hear it.
Oh, okay, I gotta compose myself. You do walk around all the time.
This
in
isn't a
12th grade.
joke. This is an issue in my life.
Honestly, as a person whose knees actually make noises every time I like crouch down, I understand.
It feels unhealthy.
It does, but I mean it's just air escaping the
Yeah.
joints.
No, it feels like grinding.
Oh, for you probably.
It's bad.
For you probably. Literally every time I do a squat, you can hear my knees just. And it's like I always tell like speaking with a doctor about it, and they're just like, no, it's just it really is
You're
just
old.
yeah.
Sorry.
It's just it started happening when I was 16. Like
Yeah.
it just and like I talk to them and it's like it's air like that's like in there that's like getting out and it makes a noise whenever you do that because you're it's like pushing down a balloon, like it makes a noise.
Anyways, we're getting distracted.
Yes,
how
we
does
are.
a 7 do?
Not good. As literally you hear Tathana go, Vlad, I swear if you are here to, and you see her kind of set a book down.
Good afternoon.
Good afternoon. And you see her like walk up to you.
He has like a scorch mark on his eyes where like the visor is.
She kind of like runs her thumb over it. Any other scars?
Too many.
Any new ones?
Probably.
But one piece.
Mostly.
Good. And unless Belwraith tries to counter, I'm gonna close the door on a situation that happens.
In the library? That's
He
crazy.
counters. He has sanctuary.
He
on his
would
own.
counter in the library.
Yes, no, very much so. Well, I mean, when you talked to her before, you know, this was one of those situations where, like, I might not come back alive. Like, this is one of those I'm going to die moments.
Later. Hmm?
Of course. We must make sure that things are taken care of. Did Vlad inform you of the individuals that are coming and the representatives of the different churches?
He did. That's my next place.
Good. I'm the one who pushed for such an initiative. I feel that if we're going to continue to do work with the other cathedrals, it'd be best if we met with them. Your brother, he will also be attending. Apparently, he had recently gotten the position.
I heard. These new cardinals are young. 18?
Yes, you're speaking of Aaron, correct?
Well, truly all of them, but it did stick out.
Yes, well, I mean, of the three of them, Aaron is the youngest. But as far as the individuals go, I mean, Nozdrem is over 100. And Yaxroth is nearly 30.
This is true. It's still, I suppose the outlier is taking my attention.
Indeed. I believe your mind might be focused on other things, all things considered. The situation, however, just to give you at least a bit of peace of mind, Aaron is a bit of a prodigy cleric. He has been through quite a bit in his young life. But a level head, very intelligent, and was able to help spearhead Nozdrem and Yaxroth's plans to take those artifacts back. and even get a lead on where some more are.
That's extraordinary.
Indeed. He didn't do it alone, though.
Never does.
Yaxaroth is actually a very well-learned cleric who uses a combination of both clerical and arcane magic. And Nosedrim is one who has sworn his oath to showcase the power of their god. They've all proven to be quite useful and helpful in our mission to try to get all this back and try to help the people of Atharia. But
Are you alright?
I am well. Vlad has definitely been getting. He's been getting a bit closer than he should.
On your nerves?
Yes. Gotta say, don't think that I don't understand why he gave me this position. Aside from the fact that this library absolutely needs to be updated, a lot of these things are out of order. The fact that all this is not even dated. How on earth are people supposed to find what they're looking for properly if these are not dated properly? Like, they're all in just random order. Like, if the old librarian was still alive, I'd have many things to say to them.
Your obsession drives you.
I wouldn't say obsession. I would absolutely say I am punctual and very determined to get my work done. And shut up.
He is smiling more than he has in the past 3-4 years. However long it's been since he left.
It was, I believe it was originally 3 years when you left. It'd be about 4 years now.
Yeah. He is smiling about the most he has since then.
Well, that's a rare sight. It's good to see that that those muscles still work.
The more things change, the more they stay the same.
I could say the same. However, you watch as she kind of like pokes you in the chest. You should probably get cleaned up if you're going to be meeting the leaders of the different churches.
That is the third thing on the list. Too much to do, and too little time.
Indeed. That being said, though, don't think that our conversations are done. We have a lot to catch up on since you've been gone. And you do feel a firm hand on your shoulder.
On my shoulder, eh?
Yes.
We will speak after dinner, I'm sure.
Indeed. But for now, Dad. You know, the sad part is, I see that picture, and it just makes me think of that DBZA line where it's just like, this crazy bastard's been kidnapping orphans for decades. Oh, come now, honey, you can't kidnap an orphan. They were never wanted in the first place. And it's like, that's such a Mr. Burns line from The Simpsons of just like, Mr. Burns, you can't kidnap an orphan. You can't kidnap an orphan. Of course you can't kidnap an orphan. They were never wanted in the first place. Anyways, before this gets derailed too much, I just had to get that out of the way.
We will speak again tonight.
Of course. Business first.
Unfortunately.
And I have quite a bit of work to do in this library. If you don't mind, I am going to put these books where they belong, and if Vlad comes in here again, I might beat him with one of these books.
I will send your acolytes back in then.
Much appreciated. They've been very helpful. Well,
He's gone old.
you've returned to us.
Anyways,
So where are you
I
off
will
to?
depart.
Where are you off to?
I am going to the training area.
Absolutely. Again, about to say, long story short, as you're traveling through the church, you are of course acknowledged, but you see that there is a lot of work to be done before this meeting takes place. As you see, like they're kind of getting like the central prayer chamber set up and ready to go for. They actually move some stuff around so that way they move some stuff around so that actually there's like space to represent the different religions that are that are coming to attend, kind of like a sign of like kind of like if you saw like watch videos of like people talking in the UN, they have like actual like places like that represent the different faiths.
Right. It's been set up very well.
Yeah. But I say that, but again, we're not going to get deviated too much. You continue to carry yourself on, and you are hearing quite a bit of. You do hear quite a bit of combat, which, in a sense, is like, but it's like nobody is.
Just a little hit of PTSD.
Yeah, a little bit of PTSD, but then you like as soon as you look out there, they're not. Some of them are using actual swords, but some of them are actually using like training swords that are like
Most are using wood.
Yeah, most of them are using training swords and shields and like running drills. And you do see some of them that are like handling it quite well. You see that some of them definitely are like these acolytes are new and learning. But you see there are a couple that do stand out. As you get closer, you do see that one of the cardinals walks up to you. Hold on 1 second. I fortunately had this one written down. Charge. You see a very familiar sight. You see a cardinal, a Earth Ganassi cardinal with kind of like darker crystal-like hair. You would recognize this as Cardinal Granite. As he walks up to you and goes, hello, our Cardinal. It is a pleasure to see you again.
Cardinal Granite, it's been some time.
How are things?
Complicated and only growing more complicated.
I can imagine. These are complicated times.
It's all rather complicated.
Indeed. But on the bright side, Tyr and Rock Dogma show us grace. Which, no rules necessary. You would know Rock Dogma is one of the, like, elemental spirits of the plane of Earth.
Yeah.
You would know that, like, Cardinal Granite has deep ties to the plane of Earth.
I wonder why.
Can't imagine. Actually, no. In your notes, it even talks more about why.
Yeah.
But that being said, though.
I have come looking for our newest potential members.
Ah, yes. You wish to meet with the newest acolytes, quote. As he kind of moves his fingers in like the quote unquote. They technically were never really acolytes. They were more ones who have lended their aid to help us. But,
I've heard their story.
But
to some degree.
Of course. Would you you wish to meet them?
I wish to observe for now.
Of course. They are currently on the training grounds. And he will kind of take you to the area in which like other cardinals and other holy knights can actually like watch them. Think of it like old school, like think of it like the old school. What's the proper term for it? In ye olden days when they were training new guards and they would have like a section in the barracks where where some of the higher ranking members can actually have like a almost like a rampart to watch over the new recruits. Like
It's like slightly elevated.
yeah, like a balcony that looks over the training grounds.
I definitely won't hide my presence.
Absolutely. Well, fortunately, unless anybody points it out, which if you Granite just kind of simply looks at them and goes like, kind of looks at it, kind of gives the look of like almost like moving his fingers across his neck. He essentially gives a look of he kind of all the other like members of the church kind of give a look of like, ah, yes. And so no rules necessary unless they are told to look up. They aren't looking at the balcony.
Yeah, and no, they wouldn't be.
Also, I saw your message, Well. Don't worry. But I say we just need to get just wish for Bellaris to finish this first.
Yeah, what do I see of those three specifically?
All right. From those three specifically, no rules necessary because you're in a position where you can see everybody moving, and Granite's right there to point them out. You see the first thing you notice is from him pointing it out. You see a dwarf who's currently wielding a two-handed like warhammer. And you watch as he is like basically sparring with one of the holy knights. And you actually see like he is holding his own quite well. Go ahead and roll an insight check.
What if I don't want to?
Well, that's unfortunate.
I'm making you 23.
23. You are noticing that this person is very well like trained in the art of battle. You see that go ahead.
If I put them on a skill scale of say, I don't know, like 1 to 20, what do I think they'd be?
You'd probably think like a 12.
Damn.
I'd say maybe even a 13. I'd say they are handling themselves in combat quite well.
Hard to tell the difference between 12 and 13.
I know, it's pretty difficult. But they are definitely holding their own quite well against one of the Holy Knights. But of course, your Holy Knights are well trained and they definitely can handle themselves just fine.
Yeah.
But like for somebody who wasn't even a part of the faith before, that is very impressive. But I say you wanted to look at the other two as well.
Yes.
You see the brass dragonborn, basically showcasing their magical abilities, and you watch as they're like they seem to have what appears to be like a staff, but it has like a religious symbol. No rules necessary. There is a church to them in the city. It is a sigil of Bahamut, the Platinum Dragon. And you watch as they kind of like motion their staff. You watch as rather than seeing like a holy spell come from it, you watch as an orb of chromatic energy flies towards the dummy, one of the dummies, and showcases a massive detonation. Go ahead and roll an insight check.
Sure. 28.
28. As a cleric who is well practiced, you know that chromatic orb is not a spell that clerics can learn. But
do I think sorcerer or wizard?
With that level, she is a cleric. But she is a particular kind of cleric. You know that she is one who probably studies under the arcane. Yep, probably trained basically Mistra's domain of magic, similar to Mary. But I say she is a arcane domain. I say that's the only logical explanation you can think in your mind that she would have the ability to cast wizard-like spells. But very well practiced, very well experienced. You're thinking probably on a scale from 1 to 20, 14. And then you wish to look at the last one.
Yeah.
As you go up to this one, you see this one is a little bit different. This human is lithed, like very lithe, and like doesn't seem like they are one for. Seem to have some kind of arcane focus, but you watch as they position themselves for in front of one of the dummies, rather than them looking more like they're ready to cast a spell, you see them take a stance, like a combat stance. And you watch as they but the thing is, it's weird. You've never seen someone move like this before. Roll an insight check.
Natural 20, 29.
Natural 20. You've never seen anything like this before. They seem to quickly draw a what appears to be like a dagger, and the way they fight is so interesting, but there is some kind of magic coming off of them. They seem to be able to they seem to be doing more damage to the dummy than what a dagger should be capable of doing. It's different, but you see that there's a level of precision. You're thinking maybe rogue, maybe monk, but neither of those fit right. It's interesting. But you watch as he finishes up, and all the attacks are very precise. If this dummy were a person, you are confident they would have been not killed, but like absolutely disabled from the fight.
Yeah.
And you watch as he kind of relaxes his form, and you kind of see that magic kind of start to fade off of his body. You would think that from his posture, you would think with a natural 20, similar to UX, you'd think 14. This kid is experienced. Is there anything you wish to speak of?
The young one has my curiosity.
Yes. You're not the only one. We've never seen capabilities like his before. He hails from a land I also am not aware of.
Oh?
Yes, to a continent quite some distance from here. A land called Gano.
Say again?
Yes, there is a country called Gano. It's from the main continent of Osmiet.
Gano of Osmiet.
Yes. This one, we've spoken with him about his abilities. He is what in his land is called a spell sword. However, he is an active worshipper of Tyr, and from his homeland he was a representative of the faith.
So young yet so powerful.
Indeed. He doesn't speak much about his past. He's more interested on how he can help here now.
I sense trouble and danger from him.
Once you get to know him, maybe that might change. From all of my time with him, he has shown no malice nor danger to us.
Evil hides its intentions, though that is not an accusation by any means.
It's fair to be cautious.
Someone that young and that powerful has created bodies before.
No doubt about that. But to be fair, our cardinal, if I may speak,
We are no different.
we are no different. Some of our holy knights and cardinals were dropped off on this very doorstep, and they learned to fight younger than him. Vlad is one who had learned to fight and was on the battlefield younger than him. Which you would know is the truth, because orcs technically are mature at age 16.
Come, and I am going to take the stairs down the balcony, and I want to walk onto the training field.
Absolutely. Which immediately does get the attention of the the various acolytes, and like some of them like are like quick to like drop their weapons, like oh. You do.
Yeah, Belwraith shows an unhealthy lack of fear, like walking between target and like trainer. If that makes sense.
Oh, absolutely. Like, and that's the thing is like the majority of them like seem to like take like a stance. And of the trainers, so the ones who are actually like on the field, like look to you, and like there is a very respectful bow as you approach.
I figure these three are like together
Yes,
somewhat.
somewhat.
Do I have their attention?
Yes. Well, I mean, the moment you approach, like you definitely have their attention. You watch as the young one, Aaron, actually like approaches you.
You're approaching me. I came over here.
You just see the ominous like sigils, fucking JoJo sigils in the air. You watch as so he approaches, and he gets like he is keeping like about like a 3-4 foot distance from you. You are our Cardinal Belwraith, correct?
This is true.
You watch as he puts both of his hands together, and you watch as he drops to his knees and does a very deep bow. It is my pleasure to be able to meet you properly. And you watch as he like kind of holds that position for about like 30 seconds.
Belwraith would be too awkward to let him rise.
You watch as he like kind of collects himself and rises again. I am Aaron Jacobs.
While he speaks, I'll motion for the other two to approach as well.
You watch as the dwarf kind of like he very much like kind of like very relaxed, like doesn't seem like too hung up on like protocol. Whereas you watch as Uax like walks up, and she's very much like she does a very sincere bow and goes, "A pleasure to make your acquaintance, our Cardinal Belwraith."
I have heard of what you three have done. Collecting 6 cursed artifacts is no small feat.
You just see the dwarf go, yeah, it was not easy, but we were able to get it done.
While I am impressed, you have not yet earned my respect.
You watch as like Aaron rises back to his position, and you just see him kind of like quickly like kind of like, you know how if you got like dust on your clothes, you like try to wipe it off.
Yeah.
He very intentionally like wipes that off, and he goes, "Yes, you are right. What we have done is be able to be of assistance to Scales of War. We applied to wish to be more help, and we wish to be of assistance. Whether it means to be a cardinal or even an acolyte, that is fine." And you see Uax kind of go, "From where I come from, it is our place to earn our positions. One does not simply be given things, even if we have accomplished a great feat." you see Nostrum go, "Personally, I think we deserve a position, but you got some good dwarves here. If those old bastards can get in, I can get in eventually."
I'll look to Granite beside me, and can I roll an insight to see what he thinks of that?
Absolutely.
15.
I say he's not hiding his emotions. He definitely like there's a level of like a level of like he's trying to stop himself from laughing. But you know that Granite, similar to Angler, is more of the free spirit of Scales of War. Considering the fact that like before, like while Jahath was ruling this place, Granite was always under a level of a level of scrutiny, being a follower of two gods.
Yeah.
Like even though technically but I say the Earth Spirit he follows isn't a god, but I say he is still like an equivalent. He's a great primordial.
I'll turn my attention back to the dwarf. Do you think your arrogance will give you any favor with me or with anyone here?
It's only arrogance if I can't prove myself worthy. The only thing that I can do is show the glory that comes from following Cord.
We will spar after dinner, and I will walk off.
You see like a lot of people are like, "Whoa." And
I do want to drop an intimidation with that.
absolutely, go right ahead. Go ahead, do it with advantage. You're catching everybody off guard here.
16 on the first, 28 on the second.
Nice.
All right. You see that everybody is like everyone's kind of like grabbing the grabbing like the but I say you see like no like
feel free to roll insight on Bowraith.
absolutely, but I say well, Granite's gonna be walking with you, so I'll let him do an insight. That's very fitting. 22.
It's the pace more than the face that gives him away, and he is not happy. But it's mostly centered around the dwarf. The other two were arrogant, but fine. Like he was not expecting he was not expecting trouble from the dwarf, and that is accelerating the frustration more.
As Granite is walking with you, and he kind of gives you a pat, and he goes, "Nostrum means well. He's just young. He needs to earn his place. Don't forget, we've had several cocky holy knights. 2 of them are still serve for the holy knights."
Cocky is one thing. Arrogant gets comrades killed.
This is true, which is why we haven't approved of any of them. We wish for them to spend some time here, get to know these lands. None of these people are native to Atharia.
That one will need to be humbled.
And this is fair. I say, speaking of humble, I say we do have quite a few guests that are probably about to arrive.
Indeed, I need to bathe.
Indeed, you know where your chambers are.
Thank you for introducing me, Granite. I will see you at dinner.
Of course. I say he gives you a very humble bow as he goes on to his work.
We can leave off there.
Alrighty. In that case, we're going to better say, Wealth. You have a time-sensitive thing that you wish to do.
It's not time sensitive. I just wanted to do it.
Absolutely. What would you like to do?
So once Garnan is done meditating, he'd probably be done after like an hour and a half or so.
Mm.
He's going to get up and he's going to go to the Church of Savros in Padstow.
Absolutely. I say
The guy there is called Michael, correct?
yes, Michael. That is a head priest, Michael.
Yeah. And he's just gonna stroll up. Just
Michael's
Yeah,
a common name. I literally know like 15 Michaels.
my father is one of the Michaels I know.
My
Sorry.
dad is also a Michael. Do we have the same dad?
Hmm.
Is he kind of short?
Yeah.
Does he have black hair?
Shit, we're half brothers.
No.
Oh fuck.
Man, that
Oh
makes
God, I'm half Canadian. I'm gonna kill myself.
Oh
Man, that must-
God,
man,
I'm
that-
half American. I'm gonna kill myself.
man, that must make your flirtatious behavior a lot more awkward now.
It's awful. It's awful.
We were married.
We were married.
Oh no!
Anyway, he is going to. He's going to go in and just kind of walk around until Michael finds him, basically.
Absolutely, which you would
Not
find.
in the like real direction.
Which the thing is, you actually catch him as he is like kind of collecting his stuff together, and he looks to you and goes, "Do the fates guide my path back to Garnan, champion of Savros? It's a pleasure to see you
Michael.
again.
You as well.
How goes your travels? How has fate been guiding you?"
It guides.
I say you seem well. It
I,
doesn't seem you have too many injuries.
No. But I come here with a question, Michael.
Oh, well, what can I be of assistance of?
How do you know that the fate you have been given is the one that is meant for you?
Better say, before he pops off, Herma, better say you have a good night, man.
Peace, bro. Sleep well.
Good night, Irma.
But you watch as Michael looks kind of looks to you and goes, "You ask a difficult question. This is one that many who come to the Church of Sabros ask. How does one ever know if the fate they are given is the one that's truly meant for them?" You watch as he pulls out his orb, and he kind of like sets it on what what appears to be a kind of like a central pedestal.
Mm-hmm.
And you watch as he kind of mutters some words, and you watch as like some clouds kind of start to form into it. Let me ask you something, Garnan.
Mm-hmm.
How does one know where the direction in which their life is going to take them?
To put it simply, they do not.
You would be correct on that. Life is ever evolving and ever changing. We all come from different places in the world. Not two lives are exactly the same. Even in the smallest details, every person's life is different. And that's kind of the same way how fate works. Every single path, every direction we go, every choice we make brings a new branch to our path of fate. And depending on what we choose, changes the direction in which we go. The best way I've always reflected on if one's fate is truly for them is ultimately upon the actions that you take. For example, if one is evil, does not mean that they're always evil. You watch as the clouds and the orb spin, and you see what appears to be almost like a path. One might think that being good or evil is a one-way path. You walk from one end to the other, and you are one or the other. But there are branches, and you see almost like a secondary path in the road, like a fork. And what one chooses to do with what they have defines them, defines their character, but that does not decide their fate. One could walk an evil path, and you see a four-way, kind of like a four-way walking path. There's levels of danger that come with that. But sometimes you watch a person walk, and rather than walking on one of the paths, they straight up walk on the grass. They take a path that's much unexpected. Something we may never know. You could be the best person in the world, with the best intentions and the greatest admiration for others. And you can still choose to walk a path that would cause more harm than good. Fate is never...
So what what you were saying is fate does not equal destiny.
That is correct. What are the chances that we were fated to meet?
Only Savros knows.
It's true. And sometimes even Savros doesn't know. The strands of fate are endless. Who knows where one person could have gone by a singular choice?
Michael,
Yes. Yes.
what brought you to Savros? Why did you find yourself as her head priest?
Well, I was born in a city called Skystead. A city that is tied to the elemental plane of air.
I've been there.
I've always been fascinated by how the wind blows directionlessly. There never seems to be anything to hold it back. It's such a freeing feeling. And when I was growing and became a young man, I showed interest in the gods. Fascinated. I thought I would be more connected to the god of nature. Understanding Maliki. But when I read of Savros, there was some kinship, if that makes sense. Savros is one that does not dictate the destination in which one goes, but rather speaks more on the directions and the pathways that define fate. To me, it reminds me of the very wind that I was so fascinated of when I was younger. It showed that there were endless possibilities. Nothing holds fate from happening. It can go wherever it sees fit. And in a way, it helped guide me. I found my way here to Padstow. I had to work hard. I had to prove myself to make my way into the city. I spent many years proving myself to the previous Arch Cardinal, even the one before Jahath. But I did it. I showed that the strings of fate don't affect just the followers of Savros. They follow any person who lives their lives here in Bromia. We are all simply, we are simply just birds flying in the wind that never seem to go just one direction. And the fact that I could help guide people on some good paths, that is everything that I've ever wanted. What
I
about you?
see.
What about you, Garnan? What led you to want to follow the strings of fate?
Well, I was born to the country north of here, a place called Tosquedal, if you don't know.
I'm aware of the
I was
land.
part of it.
Don't know much about it, though.
I was part of a Fearbog tribe, known as the Tilry. I had an older brother who wasn't very kind in our early years. And then one day, he snapped. I didn't see him again for a while. My father and I went on call it a diplomatic mission, to a town called Ulari. That day, we had muggers attempt to steal from us. When that happened, they said Ezrin sends his regards. And I snapped. I murdered both of those muggers in broad daylight, directly in front of my father. It's true, what the fuck?
I'm sorry. I couldn't help it.
It was right there.
Jesus Christ.
Knew everyone would get a laugh out of that.
For viewers at home, the people who are not in the spotlight, the goal is to make the person who is talking break character and laugh. Good job, Stray. That's a point for you.
See, I thought that was something I was posting. I thought that was pretty funny, and then it's just like, nope.
But yeah, agreed. What you posted is pretty cool, Winter.
And the fact that they got the people who made Sky or who are making Sky Oblivion got invited to Bethesda Studios to meet with the modders for tea and sweet rolls.
Love
Oh
sweet
my God.
rolls. You ever have a sweet roll before?
Anyway, yes, actually, I have. It's very good.
Oh,
Anyway.
Also, before as we get back into this, I just wish to say, let me guess, someone stole your sweet roll.
Why else would I be here?
Go on, Ruff.
I killed the muggers in broad daylight, directly in front of my father. He, seeing an act of violence so blatant, pushed him to exile me from the tribe, not allowing me to ever come back. And once that happened, I found my way through Atharia for a while, doing odd jobs, mostly in criminal circles, since they didn't really care your background as long as you could make them money. And then one day, I met a group of people in Pegland. It's a small town on an island that no longer exists, southwest of here. That is where I met the rest of the Solaires. During my time traveling with them, we stayed in Pegland for a while and moved on to Melbourne. Once we did that, we found me and a friend, Skulven, one of the original Solaires that is no longer traveling with us. He got caught up in something else. But we went to a slave trade. He was a slave and wanted to see what it looked like on the other side. And I joined him, not wanting to let him be alone for that. I was still angry. confused, clouded. But when I went to the slave trade, I saw a woman, an Azamar, named Alosa. I
Oh,
believe you've met her.
yes, the young lady you brought with you the last time you were here. I say she was lovely, and she even admitted that she had ties to Savros.
Correct. What I did not know then was the fact that she was an Azamar of Savros. And meeting her, as corny as it sounds, lifted some of the cloud from my mind. It helped me redirect my anger into something useful. And over time, she taught me some magical ways. Things to help me.
Hmm.
And eventually I found myself being nice to people. There was a moment in a town I don't remember the name of. It was destroyed on the ravaged path, where we met a little boy named Spencer.
Hmm.
I don't know why, but I did everything I could to help him. I knew what it was like to be young, without a family, and I didn't really want him to have to deal with that. So I helped.
Hmm.
And I think that was the pivotal moment where Savros saw me through Alosa. And not too long after, she reached out to me and invited me to be this, as he holds out his arms.
Hmm.
And since then, I have done that.
I see. You have walked an interesting path of fate, one with many twists and many turns, one that you never really knew where you were actually going.
Exactly.
Well, you were able to see your brother again.
Yes, actually. It was what, yesterday in game?
It was 2 days ago now in game.
2 days ago. 2 days ago.
And how
Did you hear about Starlum disappearing?
We have been made aware that Starlum had disappeared from the sky. That's one of the main reasons why all of us are meeting today. Many of us religious leaders are coming together in Scales of Ore to be updated on the situation.
I see. Well, that was us. Isrin, my brother, was there. And, we killed him. And doing that kind of messed with some stuff. Sending it, and us, to hell in Avernus.
That is quite terrifying.
It was really annoying.
Not the word I would use, considering Avernus is, from everything that I've read and understand, it's quite the terrifying place. It is the war-torn realm of the Nine Hells.
We did see the five-headed dragon on our way out.
You see, some sweat go. Let's not speak on the name of the said individual. She is quite the figure, if you understand what I'm saying.
Oh, I know.
But yes, I am aware that she has ties to such a location. That it's quite terrifying that you were even in the same realm as them.
Yes. You said you were going to a religious meeting.
Yes. We've been invited, the majority of us religious leaders have been invited to go to Scales of War to meet with the acting Archdinal, Vlad. However, from what I've been told by some of the guards, because that since you all arrived back in here, apparently Blue Ward is performing for the city again. That ought to be for quite a fun night.
Would not surprise me.
And also, because I assumed that because you all returned, that would mean that our Cardinal Belwraith would have returned.
Yes, he should be here, as far as I know.
Which is good. It would be good to be able to speak with him directly about the events of the things that have happened.
Some things have happened.
Would you like to escort me back up to Scales of War? I imagine you might be heading the same way.
Sure, I can do that.
However, Garnan. Fate is never one-sided. It's never set in stone. It's an ever-evolving and changing things. And constant new decisions, constant new paths introduced daily.
Yes.
Just remember, if you think it is one way, one must simply step to the side. And you watch as he opens up, rather than pushing open the double doors, you watch as he just push open one door. You'd be surprised at the things you see if you're willing to step out of your comfort zone. And you see a smile across his face. Imagine if you wouldn't have done all the things you've done. Would you have ended up in the exact spot you were in? Would you be alive today to speak to me? Or would Garnan Tilry died on that path when you and your father were being mugged?
He just stays silent for a moment. I don't know. And to be honest, I don't think I ever will, nor do I care to. The path I am on is the one I have chosen, and the one I will continue to choose for as long as I can.
And that's what it means to live. We simply make our choices. We simply follow the paths that make the most sense to us. Whether everyone agrees or everyone disagrees. Everyone's path is individually theirs and no one else's. All we can do is show others that there is no such thing as a singular path. Come, Garnan. We have some people to speak with.
We do indeed.
And you will walk with him?
I will.
Alrighty. So.
He stabs me in the back.
Oh, fuck! I can't believe it. He walked off the path a little bit, and immediately it gets brutally torn apart by a swarm of ravenous gnomes. Just, Kazir and Blue, as you guys are walking the path. Is there anything you wish to speak to Eileen about as you're making your way to Scales of War?
Nothing I can think of.
As they're walking, Blue kind of just looks up, holding the case. I'm going to make a performance for morale. This place could use them after facing so many threats.
I would agree. With the amount of people that are currently struggling, the amount of death that is seen around us, We could all use a lively performance to raise everyone's spirits.
Yeah. My cat is covering my microphone.
I was about to say, wow, I didn't know you became a cat, Tiny.
She's
Polymorph.
standing there above my mouth, just next to my microphone, staring at me. You can leave. Bedroom door's open.
You do realize the cat is going to
Here,
choose.
just do one of those.
You think that would stop a cat?
He likes it.
Exactly.
Maybe not.
Exactly.
It's fine. I can just lift her.
That's what I have to. That's what I end up having to doing with Storm all the time.
All right.
But
Onward.
as you guys as you guys all head up to Scales of War, Belwraith, as you get, it literally takes you no time to get cleaned up. You know, you've used these quarters before. So like, I imagine just some nicer looking linen.
Yeah, like just some. I was going to say like simple clothes, but that wouldn't be true.
Kind of similar to what you're wearing in your image.
Yeah,
Yeah.
something like that.
Yeah, not like no armor, I imagine, because your armor is currently being fixed. It's more just clothing that helps represent your position, but you're not one for like super dressing up.
Yeah, that'd be accurate.
I'd say it, but I say, but formal, comfortable would be the proper term.
Yeah. Business casual,
Yeah,
maybe, something like that.
Yeah, something like that. I say that being said, you guys, about to say Garnet, you do see Kazir and Blue walking with a woman dressed in a long black clothing, a plague doctor's mask over her face, and like what appears to be like a feathered cloak. And
Are you
Blue.
into cosplay now, Blue?
And Blue
Just kind of looks at you.
Blue and Kazir, you see Garnan walking with what appears to be like a nice looking human man, dressed in like formal robes. You see that they're kind of like white with like bluish sigils on it, which no rules necessary because you've traveled with Garnan. You would notice like and Nalosa, you see like sigils of Savros on his clothing. Oh, these are the rest of the members of some more of the members of the Solaris.
More of them, yes.
You watch as this man kind of gives you guys a bow, and you see him go, Priest Michael, head of the Church of Savros. It is a pleasure to make your acquaintance.
Blue is going to give the one-arm bow back to him. Blue Ward, champion of the Raven Queen. It is nice to make your acquaintance as well.
And you are, as he turns to you, Kazir.
My name is Kazir.
I see. I say no formal titles, just just a simple man with a simple name. And I say I can respect it.
Thank you.
And
He does have titles, but those are for Uskar.
Makes perfect sense. But I say either way, it is a pleasure to meet you, and of course, Lady Eileen. And you see a formal bow, and you see Lady Eileen give a proper bow back. It is good to see you, Michael. I see you travel with a... And you see her look at you, Garnet. Garnet, I need you to roll a deception check.
Deception.
Mm-hmm.
Can I make it persuasion? Wink.
But I say you could certainly try.
Nah, I'll do deception.
Wait, why? Never mind.
I don't know yet. We're about to find out.
Holy fuck. 25. Forgot how to plus 11.
5 matches. She looks at you. And
She
Garnet,
could beat it. It's okay.
there's a level of discomfort as she's look at. She doesn't. It looks like she's looking into you.
Oh yeah, well, I can do that too. I turn on my magic eyes.
I twist my binoculars. You see, she looks at you and goes, I see that there is another champion who walks amongst us. Has Savros guided you well?
I would like to think so, yes.
That is good to hear. We live such short lives. I would hate to hear that you regret any of your decisions.
It'd be kind of ironic if I regretted decisions, being the champion of fate.
You say that, but it is the human nature to question our every decision. A pleasure to meet you. And you watch as she gives you a proper bow.
It's a good thing I'm not human then. He returns the bow.
Tiny commented that at the exact same time. I say, and you guys notice that as you're walking, you see other figures and individuals. You do recognize one. You see a tiefling man, who has a striking resemblance to Belwraith, walking with robes, or with like yellowish style robes.
This would be Belwraith's brother.
Yes, this would be
Right.
Belwraith's brother.
What was his name?
What the fuck is his name?
What's
again?
his name? What's his name? What?
I have the
I know.
notes. I have the notes.
Don't tell them. It'd be funny.
Well, I need the notes for my own means because
Belwraith's brother, I definitely remember your name.
hold up. Gotta go to my own notes. Let's see. I forgot we've talked about a lot of things, Wanderer.
It's Ralron, I believe.
Yeah, Ralron is
Oh,
correct.
hey, yes, it's Relron. I have that, Yuffie, Naveen, and Zarius.
Yes, that is
your
correct.
family.
That I got it all. I literally have it right in front of me. Yes, you see a
Okay.
he looks similar to Belwraith, but you notice that he has more of a bluish like skin color. Which you would know
Blue
you would know that his sister also has more of a bluish color.
Blue looks over, moves closer, and gives him a bit of a bow. It is nice to meet you again, Relron. In better conditions than last time.
Yes, it is good to see you again too. And you watch as he comes up to you and kind of gives you a slight bow. But you see that he was gonna go for a handshake, but then he's like, yes, no, my position. Gives a bow. I'll say it is.
Seems you've obtained a higher position since we've last met.
Yes, I have recently been chosen to take up the position as the head of the Church of Pelor. And I have
What happened to the woman, Sven?
she is still well. She is actually things have been looking very up as we have been able to bring in some of the members of the Church of Pelor from the outside of the city. they've been be under the directive that I introduced to the church, to Scales of War. We've been able to get some new members. She is well, and actually, she has been visited quite a bit by one of the holy knights.
That is good to know. The demons seem to have targeted the Church of Paylor.
Indeed. What is his name? I've met with him several times, but I've been busy with everyone in the Church of Paylor. Holy Knight Vlad. He has been coming to the church and speaking with her constantly.
Good.
Let's say.
That is quite good.
Indeed. We've even been able to make sure to reinforce the building and help bless it and bring back some of Paylor's light.
The way we found it, it was near the point of becoming unhallowed grounds.
I remember
I'm-
she spoke about that and spoke of the tragedy that happened in the church.
Yes, I am glad Paylor's light is able to watch over this spirit once again.
But with everything going on, I've been also a bit distracted. I recently came back from a trip to another continent, if you would believe it.
Where did you go?
Oh, I was invited to the Holy Land of Romhecht to speak with some of the representatives of the followers of Paylor.
Does Blue know anything about Romhecht?
Of Romhecht. Roll a I think you rolled something for it a while ago, but just for the sake of yeah, for the sake of the right now, go ahead, roll a history check.
History. Yeeks. 18.
18. You would know that Romhecht. You would remember Romhecht was mentioned in the Star Plagues. In the Star Plagues like warning. To his tomb. You would remember that Romhecht is the land blessed by stars. It is a massive desert nation that essentially is like the holy land of anybody who is religious. It is like the great pilgrimage.
So that is where the Star Plague is more than likely going to start.
You would remember from the message that Garnan had translated that freeing him, he would become he would be a bane on the country of Romhecht.
Blue, kind of hearing the name of that, closes his eyes. Do you have any connections there?
We've been able to establish some connections. Things are a bit awkward there.
Oh, that sounded really painful.
My cat jumped up my leg.
Oh.
Oh.
I thought you got shot. I was like, oh fuck.
Listen here, kitten. I love
Fully
you.
thought that was in character.
He just straight up just assassinated.
But like,
It's
no
here, how
matter
could you?
what, I thought it was like, oh, someone
me.
died. Someone's dead.
Just Kazir comes into the DM's office, and you just hear, "This is what you get for doing this to my family."
But yeah, I also thought it was in character for a second. My first thought is, what did you do with my brother, you fuck?
No. Storm jumped up on my lap, claws first.
Yeah, good
Oh.
job, Storm.
Honestly, she's right in front of my microphone right now.
You deserve that for making us think it was the. It was.
Yeah.
Fuck you guys, that hurt.
He just got like stabbed in the back by a fucking agent of the Broken Skull.
Also, Tiny, congratulations for rolling my favorite number.
Just one dagger directly into the spine.
As
Oh.
it should be.
Oh, that hurt. Anyways, About to say,
Um,
he looks to you and goes, "They are going under their own level of problems at the moment."
yes. I would, since you have connections, I would like to send a warning to them.
Oh,
Let me step to the side for a second.
about to say, he will look to Michael and Eileen and go, "We can meet with you all inside of Scales of War, uh, if you don't mind, Lady Eileen, Priest Michael. May I borrow the Solaris?" And you see, like, Lady Eileen gives like a nod and looks to you, Blue. "Shall I see you inside?"
Yes, and he holds up her case.
"Thank you so much
You
for
may
carrying
leave.
this for me."
Of course, anytime.
And she gives like a bow to, as she gives a polite bow uh to Rauron, and you see Michael kind of give you a look, Garnet, and go, say, "Till our fates bring us together once more."
But
I'm sure she will.
"Indeed. I will more than likely see you shortly, but I hope our paths continue to cross, Garnet."
It is likely.
And he will
But who knows? We
he
will see.
he will give you a very respectful bow as he makes his way towards Scales of War. And Rauron,
Garden will return.
absolutely. And Rauron will kind of look to you all and kind of escort you to the side. Truthfully, uh, I was there, not just to connect with them. Uh, my brother had asked me to speak with a few members of the land as well.
what did he tell you?
It's something just wanting to know more about what's going on in Romhicht. Apparently, my brother had seen a premonition of a figure who apparently some kind of wrapped figure, pharaoh-like clothing.
I was Malworth there during that. I believe that was Dave.
That was Dame, but you guys did talk to
Yes.
did talk to Belwraith
We-
about it.
Yes. You were told correct. Soon or later, it will become it will come a great plague to Romhecht.
Hmm.
One that is faced once before, or in the past.
My brother
People there need to be ready.
my brother was quite worried when I was talking to him about it. And unfortunately, the land is in a not great position. The pharaoh of Romhecht has grown ill. The land is currently being run by the Primarchs. And it is the Primarch I spoke with. He did not seem interested in what I had to say. But to be fair, men and women of their position often don't care what the people of the cloth have to say.
That sounds about right.
But either
Wisdom can come from everywhere.
this is true. However, the I was able to meet some members of the Church of Palor there. There are quite a few, considering the fact that Palor's influence on Romhecht is quite vast, since there's so much light that touches the desert. It's interesting. There have been some conversations, but the main thing that has thrown people off is that there is a new star in the sky. Seems to be it seems to have a purplish reddish hue. It has a lot of people baffled. And apparently there has been a story of aberrant influences.
As I said, there'll come a plague to the land there.
Mm.
I do not know when at this point in time, but that star has influence over the plague.
Indeed. Well, fortunately, Romhectus had some of its own heroes to help. There was a ranger named Kai, who wished for me to send you a word of, for me to send you specifically, Blue, a word of care. He is a follower of the Raven Queen.
What do they say?
Their message is that the sands are being watched, but there may become a time in which this land will need the Raven Queen's influence once more.
That time comes, I will face that.
Indeed. And if not you, then who comes after you?
Yes. Someone will be there, and I will make sure, with all my power, that these relics will not be lost for them.
That is good to hear. There were others that traveled with this Kai, but they were a rather odd group of people. Some form of raccoon bard person, a kobold with a knack of invention, a what appears to be an elven woman with tattoos that gave her power. And there was also a wizard that traveled with them, female with capabilities. Odd group of people, but they did help out a lot. I mean, that would be fair. Atharia doesn't
Yeah.
exactly have raccoons.
It's a raccoon.
They're they're almost similar to if you took a dog and a rat and kind of put them together. It's their faces are. Tell you what, hold on, and you watch as he kind of moves his hand around, and he will cast minor illusion. And what you see is this.
Ah. Nice.
Thank you.
Like exactly that.
Like exactly that.
Just full surprise.
There's a child somewhere who saw this and started screaming.
Yes, the child is in the picture. What are you talking about? It's just the baby. Alright. Ah, that is interesting looking.
Yes, it's rather odd.
Oh my god, Josh! What do you mean now?
Sorry, my daughter came up the stairs. But anyways, it is.
What?
I know, right? I know, right? Absolutely insane. But he looks at you and goes, "They are rather odd creatures. They very much like to eat out of the trash cans in cities."
Sounds just like Blue.
Hey, only when drunk off my ass.
He just raises an
Anyways.
eyebrow. And how often is that?
Not since I joined this party.
He raises the other eyebrow.
Yes,
You've been drunk before.
but apparently this group of individuals stopped a faction of
What?
individuals from that you've all been fighting. Apparently there was a group of the Broken Skull in Romhicht. They were trying to free this. They were trying to free a god that was locked in the outer plane.
Gonna kind of turn and look at Garnet.
I didn't do it.
Okay.
I mean, it was a failure. They didn't. This party was able to stop them.
There.
This party was able to stop them from doing so. But it was definitely a unique experience, and it was also the first time I learned about what a sphinx was. Which, if anybody wants to, you can roll an Arcana check to see if you can figure out what a sphinx is.
Sure, why not?
Sure.
Might have heard of it.
Did you
Maybe
say
a tale
Arcana
or
or
two.
history?
It would,
Maybe a tale or two.
but as it would be an Arcana check.
All right, makes sense.
If you were from Romhicht, I would
Uh,
say it would be a history check.
13.
35.
Garnan, did you want to roll?
Sure.
Just on
Totally
you.
did not zone out and know exactly what I'm rolling. Doesn't matter anyway.
Maybe an Arcana check, and you know what? Fitting. About to say, cause you're,
Magic.
huh? Yeah. Kazir, you've heard rumors of sphinxes. They're these beings that have like the body of a lion but the face of a man. Supposedly they're oracles. Like they give information of the of potential future. They can maybe even tell you your own fate. Some say that they are the children. Some say they are the children of Savros.
Oh.
But that's kind of the majority of what you know. It's very vague and cryptic. Blue.
Oh. Oh.
You are aware of the legends of the Sphinx. There are many types of sphinxes, but the majority kind of tell the same story. They are often oracles. Some are even said to guard precious items that have been left behind by the gods. Supposedly, the two artifacts that you have, at one point, were being guarded by sphinxes. But the thing is that often heroes and villains will go to find them. Sphinxes are definitely challenging creatures, incredibly powerful. Some even wield incredible magic. But the truth is that they are often bound to a location, so they don't travel very often. They're more or less guardians of locations. They live very long lives. But they've continued to do their job. They somehow maintain their race. But unfortunately, even without high of a roll, because Blue doesn't hail from a land that actually would have a sphinx on it, it's kind of the level of knowledge you have. It's mainly just hearsay and stories and legends.
I read a book once.
Yeah, I read a book once. One book.
All
It
I
looked
can
pretty.
think about is, yeah, all I can think about is the Sphinx from Critical Role being all sad.
Oh, that sphinx was sad.
Yes.
I think of the sphinx from Calamity that was very insulted the fact that he was supposed to be there for a parade, and then he killed the people trying to kill everyone, and he goes, "I find this whole situation quite rude. I would very much like to leave."
Right.
But yeah, it apparently the sphinx was being controlled, and the party was able to free him.
That's good to hear that they got to free them instead of, you know, having to try and put them down.
Indeed. It was apparently quite the ordeal, but they were able to stop they were able to eliminate that sect of the Broken Skull.
Yes. Now if we can only eliminate this part.
Indeed. It does have me worried that there might be Broken Skull sympathizers in the world.
And more than likely are. This is just a small part of a larger picture. We're just doing what we can.
Indeed. But I have been in contact with fellow members of the Church of Pelor. We are keeping regular connection. However, with the Primarch gaining more power every day, that might become more challenging in the future.
Primarch?
Yes, in the land of Romhicht, the Pharaoh the Pharaoh and his family are all the ones who rule over Romhicht. However, the Pharaoh of Romhicht is currently ill, and his son is merely 7 years old.
Ah.
So the Primarchs currently are the ones who wield power, and it has been less fortunate. They have been abusing their power. But they would be the ones next in line for the Pharaoh's position if the Pharaoh were to pass.
I see.
Yeah, basically above board. They're essentially like the equivalent of barons. They rule over the land underneath the king. I'd say. That being said, though, we will just have to play it by ear for now. It doesn't seem like the land is going through any massive metamorphosis or anything, but some things are happening, and it is unfortunate. But shall we go with the rest and speak with the rest of the churches?
Yes, let us go. Just wanted to inform you about what is happening.
No, I appreciate it. My brother has given me information, but only from his own words, the information that I need to know. I do know of this star plague, but I don't know much about it, which is, again, my brother's own words. I shouldn't know too much. Not until situations start to appear before us, just to be prepared if it were ever to be mentioned.
Suppose. Alright. Let's go.
Indeed. All right. So, as you guys come together and you meet, you meet up in this in the room that you guys fought Jahath in. It definitely has been changed. For starters, first thing you notice is that there is a massive plaque set up in that room. And it, but
we were going to say the first thing we'd noticed is that there's no blood on the floor, but
well, I mean, yeah, but also, by the way, Nevin, I see you in chat. Hi, dude. Also, you should be more careful. You shouldn't just chug down a smoothie. It's meant to be.
no, you should. Don't listen to Winter.
It's meant to be like enjoyed and not just chugged down.
Chug.
Don't listen to Winter. Make bad decisions.
But you
Don't listen to Winter.
Oh.
Chug it. Chug.
No. But that being said, though, you notice that there is a massive plaque dedicated to you guys. And the axe
Yay!
and the axe of the Solaires, who were the heroes of this land, and protectors of the religious capital of the country. You would know that you would see all of your names have been listed. Kazir, your name is listed as Kazir.
Cool.
They did not know your true name at the time.
Oh yeah, fair enough.
Gale of the Wind, I think, right?
Wow, I completely forgot what Kazir's name is.
Wait, no, Gale of the Wind was a one-shot name.
One shot name.
Yeah. I think I wrote down, sent it to you.
Yep, I'd have to pull it out.
Later conversation.
Don't worry, we'll track it down.
Days of Joy.
These
There
days
you
are
go. There
fluffy.
you go.
Yes. The nickname being Joy.
But Days of Joy being Kazir's true name.
At least it isn't fluffy.
The only one who has the only one who has a title on that plaque is Belwraith. Because of the fact that he was meant to be our cardinal before all of that had happened. For the rest of you guys, it was you see Henrik Bluethorn, Blue Ward, Garnan Tilry, Kazir, Bimp Naughton, Knackle. You see Alos's name. Basically the list. Philman and Karak as well. But that being said, you see that there's a bunch of desks that seem to be like desks, quote unquote. It's more like chairs with like tables and stuff set in front of them. Sitting around this table, you see that there's like an assortment with the different like almost like iconography of the different religions. So you see like the sigil of Palor, and you watch as you see that Roran looks to you guys and goes, "My seat is over there." You guys are attending as guests, correct?
Yes.
In that case, there's a couple of free desks over there that have no iconography. Therefore, anybody who wishes to attend as non-members of the religions. Basically, if you're not the leader of a religion.
Oh, gotcha.
Because you see Eileen sits at the desk that has the sigil of the Raven Queen, and Michael sits at the table that has the sigil of Savros. I mean, in case anyone is curious, there are a total of 20 representatives from different religions here. But as ranging from ones that you recognize the Silver Dragonborn from the Church of Bahamut, whom you guys had worked with some time ago, from the Shimmering Scale. You see a representative you recognize the hold on. You guys also recognize the a man from the I believe you guys only spoke to him the one time as you guys were figuring out what's been going on. But as I believe only Belwraith spoke to him. There is a man who is dressed in like, he doesn't look like he's dressed for church. He looks like he's dressed like he's about to go to like Vegas to like enjoy himself.
Oh, the luck.
Yep, from the Luck House. Which you would know is from to the Church of Timora, the goddess of luck.
A casino.
But you see that you see that like there is a majority of other individuals like from and there are a few that you recognize. Like you see that there is a representative that represents the Sigil of Helm, which you guys would recognize because of traveling with Knackle.
Oh yeah.
You would recognize a sigil of. You would also recognize that there is a individual who seems to be sitting at a desk that has the sigil of Saloon in front of it as well, which you guys would recognize from meeting the captain of the Star Pirates.
Oh.
The rest of them is up for debate if you're I mean even if you guys care, it's very much just the spectrum of the gods.
Arnian knows every single one.
Every single one.
I imagine it's a very, very big table. There's a lot of gods.
I mean, they're all set around the room essentially.
Right.
Walf, if you remember when me and you were playing Elden Ring, when we went to the place with all the big building with all the hands in it, that pool that had a bunch of chairs sitting around it.
Yep, I remember.
Yeah, it's very much like that, except for the chairs have like desks in front of them.
Okay.
Also, Blue, you would also recognize one other one, because of the fact that you spent as much time as you have with Mary. You recognize there is a representative of the Mage's House, the Church of Mystra.
Cool.
But for the rest of them, it's very much like gods you might have heard of and people you might have, like gods you might have heard of in passing.
I'm so tired.
But that would be up to you guys.
You die in 3 minutes.
Yeah, I've got to go in like 4 minutes.
Don't worry. Leave it to me. We're wrapping things up.
Lucky.
But I say,
Bop, 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 bop.
but I say, Belwraith, you've gotten yourself cleaned up.
Yep.
You would know that as the person who is heading this meeting, since all the churches are coming together, Vlad is with you, of course. He is also he is the one who set it up, so he's basically he is essentially coming with you as his holy knight status.
Right. Half bodyguard, half holy knight.
Yes, half bodyguard, half holy knight. Also as kind of a speaking representative as well, since you only just got back.
Yeah.
Basically, in case something needs to be addressed, since he's been here. Was there anything you wish to talk? Oh, hold on a second. You good?
Who? Oh.
Yeah, Abby's been giggling for a bunch for a while.
Yeah, so I was checking in to make sure she was okay.
From the giggles, yeah, I think she's good.
Anyways, Vlad looks to you, Belwraith. Anything you wish to know before going out to speak?
Remind me the general reason for the meeting.
It's to update.
It's late and I don't remember.
It's okay. I'll speak above game so that I can help you out. Basically, Vlad is getting everyone together to inform them of what's been going on, and especially what's happened to Starlum since last speaking with you. Basically, it's to again, because you had the church literally tell everybody to pray to their god, and ask for divine intervention. Basically. This is
debriefing.
Essentially, it's a debriefing of what happened to Starlum, because you guys went to deal with the Broken Skull. I mean, the Broken Skull had deep ties in what's happened here in Padstow, and because of the fact that the Broken Skulls are trying to bring abyssal creatures in, Padstow's had a deep investment in what's been going on in Starlum, especially because Starlum is the sister city of Padstow. Starlum had strong religious ties and strong and there's been symbolism and had big churches in Starlum as well.
They're gone now.
Yeah, it's gone now. It's been absolutely wiped out. But I mean, to be fair, what Belwraith knows from the Solaires. The Solaires would know why Starlim has such deep religious ties, considering you guys fought the Start Plague. Basically, it's a debriefing, just to let them know what's going on. This is a new relationship, and this is also good because it allows them to be able to speak their mind as well.
Do things usually become heated?
Not really. The only time it's gotten heated is when speaking of the treatment of the other religions here in Patstow. It's mainly been very civil conversations, and simply bring some individuals may have things that they wish to talk about.
All right.
All right. And Balwraith, you would know that because everybody is circled around the room, you as the speaker would speak in the center of the room.
Am I expected to do so now?
Basically, as you are gearing up and getting ready to go, preparing yourself, adjusting your clothing, and heading towards the center, which Blue, Garnan, Kazir, and the rest of you would notice that the rest of your party is also sitting kind of prepared. About time you all showed up. But it seems like you all came. Yeah, it seems you all came in with those religious folk.
I am a religious folk.
True, but you don't. You're not one who wears everything and speaks about it everywhere you go.
Fair. So with mine, you don't really need to tell me about death.
That's true. Either way,
It makes it easy.
either way, we went ahead and saved you guys some seats. We figured Balwraith wouldn't need one since, he's with them.
He's with them.
With them! No, it just...
Racism.
Well, I mean, Karik
Religiosism.
is a drow. There's a level of discomfort when they see him.
Karik is like right in the center of all the Solaires. They've like formed a box around him.
Very much you guys formed Mecha Shiva to protect him. But as you guys sit...
I will show everyone in this room for Karik.
But I say, Karik is our friend. We don't want bad things to happen to him. I'd say, but
I'll do it anyway.
But as you guys are sit and prepared for what appears to be a debriefing from your friend, and Belwraith, you are entering the center of the room, I feel like that would be a very fitting place for us to end the session for tonight.
That way I can
Agreed.
like actually write something up.
Yep.
And make it good.
Yeah. Indeed.
I've got to go to sleep.
Yeah, but I say
Get the fuck out of
it's
here.
it's late for everybody. We've been going for a few hours, so and honestly, it's been a pretty solid session since the fact that you guys got to do some role play, speak with some people you haven't talked to in a while. But I say Belwraith got to reacquaint himself with Scales of War, and this is also a good place to get some research. Obviously, yeah, there are probably going to be other places to get some research, since you guys were planning to go speak with the Thieves Guild.
Oh yeah.
I mean, who else would know more about the... Yeah,
So,
what I say. You have a good night, Welf.
see ya.
I mean, who else would know? I mean, aside from the church, who else would know better about Abyssal Vegas?
Yeah.
Probably me. I know a lot about Abyssal Vegas.
Blue knows a lot about Abyssal Vegas. Probably.
Yeah,
Well,
wouldn't be surprised.
I'm half awake. You know what you would be surprised about?
Hmm.
Beans.
Beans?
Beans.
Beans.
Beans nuts.
Beans.
Fair enough.
Wait.
But for stream,
I stream. I stream.
yeah, for stream. Thank you guys so much for
stream.
watching. I hope you guys had fun. I know this is a little bit more of a chill session, but you
I
can
stream.
Bye.
stay frosty, my friends.
Bye.